All right, guys, as you saw, I just set this up. Wasn't too difficult. So let me just talk about this tent. This is the REI Half Dome 2 Plus lightweight 3-season tent, and as you can see, I'm just reading off the bag that it comes with. The floor, or the footprint, is 98 inches by 56 inches. Average minimum weight 4 pounds 15 ounces, so about 5 pounds when you include the footprint, or the mat that goes underneath it, that fits perfectly. So anyway, let me talk about this tent really quickly, and then I'll show you around. I bought this at the REI flagship store in Seattle, their #1 store, after riding on the road, doing a bike tour from Phoenix, Arizona to San Diego, all the way up the western coast to Seattle, Washington. I had a tent that I had for many years, and by the time I made it to the REI store, that tent just, the poles were broken, it was starting to have rips, and that was just from setting up and taking down almost every night in a campground or a national forest. It just couldn't hold up. It wasn't an REI tent, it was another tent. So I picked this one up in Seattle, and then I used it all the way riding across Washington, into Montana, Idaho, down through Utah, and then back to Phoenix, Arizona, camping almost every night. So I made a video when I finished showing some of the campgrounds with this tent, in the desert, in the forest. I camped in rain, high winds, and when I made that video, I said I would do a review. Well, that was a while ago, and I've decided it's time to finally do a review on this tent. So anyway, it's a 2-person tent, 2 plus. There's a little extra room. That's what I wanted, because when I was bike touring, I needed a little extra room. I had 2 dogs. I had a lot of gear at night that I wanted to put inside with me in the tent. So I didn't want a 1-person tent. I wanted a 2-person, and this worked great. As you can see, it's a National Park Service Centennial. I bought it, and I did the tour in 2016. They had a lot of promotions then where part of the money from this tent would go to the National Park Service. So I got that. I liked it also because of that camouflage look. You know, when you're in the forest, that dark green camouflage type look really helps you to blend in and not stand out as much. So let me see. I had no problems setting it up with 1 person. It would be a little easier maybe with 2. And if it's a 2-person tent, you know, if you're hiking or camping, say you're backpacking, you could split up the parts to split up the weight and make it easier to carry. This is the bag that it comes in, which isn't too large, as you can see. It has another bag for the poles, or for the pole. It's actually 1 whole unit, as you saw when I set up. 1 set of poles that are all tied together with kind of a paracord type elastic cord that all snaps together really easily. Smaller bag for your stakes, as well as some repair stuff that comes with it, and ropes for tying it down, if it's windy. And then you can buy separately, which I did, was the footprint that fits it. It's made for this tent, fits underneath it, and you really should have it if you're using it a lot, you know, where there might be rocks or twigs or things underneath that could puncture the tent. This is just a little extra protection, keeps moisture also, and keeps, you know, the cold from the ground also from coming up through the tent at night. So this is the tent. The nice thing about it is it has a vestibule on each side. There's one on this side of the tent where you can enter and exit, and then there's one on the other side as well. This is also nice because at night, or if it's rainy or out, you can put stuff underneath here to help protect it as well. You could also set up the tent without this fly, this rain fly on it, and I did that a few times. You know, if it's nice weather out, not going to rain, it's really neat to sleep with this off so you can see the stars at night if you're out in the middle of nowhere. So it has a large opening, and it's kind of not as easy to open with one hand, but that opens up all the way to the top on both sides, so you can have it completely out of the way. And there are some pockets in the wall here and over there, and actually on all four corners, which are great for putting keys and phones or any small items, a flashlight in. There's also up top 2 large pockets to put things in. I even put a light in here at night. You could hang a light from this loop right here as well. But as you can see, plenty of room for 2 people. I had a couple dogs with me, a lot of gear. And the rain fly is held away from the tent by the poles, and that keeps a little room, so if the rain fly does get wet, it doesn't, you know, it's not touching this. And no water actually did come through, but if you did get condensation inside here, it's not touching the tent. It'll run down the side of the tent on the outside, or it'll run down the side of the rain fly on the outside. When it is closed up, like I said, you've got the vegetables, which I even cooked in when it was raining out. You know, had my little stove in there to warm up food. And we'll just do a quick walk around here. The poles on each corner, the poles go through grommets, through the rain fly, through the tent, and through the footprint. All 3 of them have grommets that you put the pole through. Then you can stake it down. There are spots that you can tie guy lines or ropes to help secure it if it is windy out. So I used it a couple months, like I said, every night, all sorts of locations. I had no problems with it. Easy to set up and take down. It is a little technical, you know, so when you first get it, you'll have to read the instructions some. But once you do it a couple times, it's really simple. When I just set it up for this video, I hadn't set it up for over a year. So, and I still was able to remember how. Excuse me. You do on the top here have vents on the rain fly with like a Velcro kind of a pole or a little arm here that you can put up here, and it Velcros up into here, and that lets air in and out. There's 2 on each side here and over on that side. So I would definitely recommend this tent to anybody who's looking for a 2-person tent. I think they have different sizes as well. Just like I said, good quality, easy to set up, lightweight, and it's something that'll probably last me quite a few more years in camping. I would highly recommend it also from REI, because if you do have any issues, any problems, you can take it back and they will repair it, or they'll let you return it and basically get another tent. I have never had any problems with REI products, and And this one, I haven't had any, and I'm really, I also kind of like the that I was helping out a little bit with the National Forest by making this purchase. I don't know if they still sell this have the special with the National Park Service, but if not, they still, I know they still have this model of tent that I would recommend. So I'm going to go ahead and take it down. I just wanted to do this review. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section and I'll try to answer them. But it's a good quality, good tent. I'm happy with it and I would highly recommend it.